Hi, I'm Yandre and welcome to Brink Designs. In this video I'll show you how to assemble our 8x8 building. This is quite simple and you'll probably be able to assemble it from just looking at the photos. However, there are a few things to note. The roof needs to be removable for both internal play as well as to reverse, as there's a nubbin in the middle to allow you to stack smaller buildings on top of this one. For this assembly, you will need the following: a thin, sharp knife to separate the pieces from the sprue, some good quality wood glue. I would not recommend super glue as MDF generally does not work well with that. A surface to put your glue on, and an old brush to apply your glue. I will also recommend the following: some water to clean your brush. Some builds tend to get a bit long and gunking up your glue brush is not a good idea. Small clamps or rubber bands to keep parts together as the glue is drying. And a small file or some sandpaper to clean some of the joints as they need to fit together quite tightly. You cannot go very far wrong with this build. It is only one building and all four walls look exactly the same. You have the option to cut out the windows and the doors on one or several of the walls. The doors are spaced to fit up to a silhouette 2 for infinity if you're planning on using this building as an objective room. When assembling the support cross on the roof, be sure to glue it onto the side with no detailing engraved. The reason being that you might want to glue other details to the roof when you're using the top of the building, but when you are stacking other buildings on top of it, those details can be hidden inside and you still have the support cross. The little inside box is optional. It is intended to give some line of sight cover when you and an opponent try to enter the room at the same time. It is designed to be removable so you can play with or without it. Alternatively, you can glue it in, or it can be flipped upside down and used as another small outside building. These add-ons are to designate wide gate locations when your objective room calls for it. They attach the small slots on each of the walls in order to prevent them from sliding around. Take note, if you are using the wide gates, you will not be able to put the roof on. When assembling the ladders, there is a short end and a long end. It will not have an impact on the functionality of the ladder, but it does look better if you assemble it with the same ends together. It also helps to use one of the offcut pieces to align the parts of the ladder. The easiest way that I've found to do this is to lie the ladder on its back and slot the offcut into the two hooks. Be careful of adding too much glue to this joint so that you don't glue the ladder to the offcut. From this point onwards, it is the various greeblies and access items. These items are assembled separately and mostly don't get glued onto the buildings. This is to allow you the most flexibility when setting up your terrain. However, it is possible to glue the various items to the buildings if you don't want to transport a large collection of loose parts. Also note, with the buildings being designed to have their roofs come off, you can put smaller parts inside of the buildings for storage and transport. When assembling the triangular signs, it is handy to keep a pair of needle nose pliers close by. They help a lot to move parts around in order to get everything aligned. These consoles are designed with a 40mm base, so you can use them wherever you need them the most. If you are using super glue to assemble your kit, do not use it when gluing on the acrylic screens. Super glue makes acrylic foggy and will result in the consoles looking bad. Also, if you intend to paint your consoles, I would advise you do so before gluing in the screens. These little electric boxes are optional to add some detail and variance to the walls. If you want to add them, attach the wide gate to know which space will be taken up and glue the box into the remaining space.